triangles, the first warm-up we can do is just getting our hips up off the ground for triangle.
Hey, Brandon.
So I'm gonna kick my legs up, bring my knee to my foot to the back of my knee, then triangle my legs. So I'll come up in a big V, and I want my knees as far away from my face as possible. Foot behind the knee, triangle. So that can be a warm-up for you. And what we're really getting here is getting our hips up and making that triangle with our legs. And then another warm-up we can do is just circles with our feet. So this is kind of weird for people that haven't ever done jiu-jitsu, but I'm rotating my leg at the hip and making a circle with my foot. So here, circles with the feet. Up and down. Os. Alright, the first triangle snatch we're going to get is from close guard. And I'm just going to push pull. So push one hand in, pull the other hand, and hop my legs up over the arm. I want my knee, the back of my knee, eating his trap. So that's my triangle snatch. Push pull and reclose your guard with one arm out and one arm in. Os. We're going. The next triangle snatch we can do is in any kind of a open guard or even closed guard, if we can get them to put their hand on the ground. So a lot of times if you tip somebody over, if he didn't have that hand, he would fall down. So sometimes we can just start tipping people, and if they ever put their hand on the ground, we can look to get a triangle. So the hand on the ground is the cue that I'm looking for to get my triangle. Os. So if we get a lasso, or a lot of times the person will weave our legs like this, I can roll through to get a triangle. So that's a little bit of a flashy, fun one for you, but it works unless he's cross facing me. So if he gets a cross face, I can't get my head under, it won't work. But if we can frame on the shoulder and lift, I'm lifting my butt up with my bottom leg here and rolling through to catch a triangle. So your intermediate and advanced guys, little flashy triangle. Os. Alright, so we got into the triangle position. Our goal to finish is to get his elbow across and his head down to get his shoulder and my leg compressing the sides of his neck for a blood choke. So I have my feet crossed behind his back. I'm going to lift my hips up and push his elbow across. Now I'm going to crunch down, and now my rib is going to be blocking his elbow here. I'm crunching into it. Then I'm going to grab my shin in the middle of my shin, and I want my arm against his head here. So I'll bring my hand right above his ear and grab my leg. And then I'm going to, while keeping my left knee pinched, I'm going to take my foot to the hip, and I'm going to lift my foot up and down as I push my head to rotate. And you can even get him to tap sometimes before you relock your legs. The common mistake when finishing the triangle is people will think it's like a shrimping motion where they'll take their hip out, and what that does is it drops my knee down and puts it so my calf is against his neck instead of the back of my hamstring. So it's not a shrimp, it's like a clock motion where I'm just moving my head to the side and my belly button is staying pointing up. And then finish. Triangle finish. All right, let's say he made big posture and we can't bring him down. I can use this hand to help me. I'm gonna push my butt out to the side. So if someone was standing behind James, they could see my butt now. And then I can throw my leg over his head and I have an arm bar. So big posture. This amazing black belt named Jerry showed me this and I immediately started hitting it. It's such a good move. That guy's really tiny, so you can trust his jiu-jitsu is good. So I push my butt out to the side. Someone's in the window, they could now see my butt. Leg over the head, arm bar. So he's got my hip locked really good and he's low. And say I can't get my moves, I'm gonna reach behind my legs for the TP finish. So be careful with that one. I have heard of people saying it can pull this tendon. So like any submission, don't do it fast. And yeah, it's also one of those things to be aware of, so that you don't get that tendon hurt. But I'm just making an S grip right under my knees, and then I'm just squeezing and extending my legs, and it's called the TP finish. Right, if he pushes his arm to the side, we're going to push his head and bring our foot over, and we're going to the omoplata position, which, stay tuned, that's what we're working next week. Os.